ladies and gentlemen. It's great for me to be back here in the UK, the country that my family and I called home for quite a few years. Could I get my preview screens again, please? I'm going to start anyway. So, this actually is my first company car, which I had when I arrived in the UK. I think it was January 2012. Audi A7 TDI diesel. I think you remember the days when diesel was still very popular, yeah, as a drive technology for vehicles, not only in the UK but in the whole of Europe. That's history. This is how diesel has developed, 54% back in 2012, now 11%, basically down to a niche technology within just a couple of years. At the same time, not a big surprise, battery electric vehicles have picked up from nothing to now about a little bit shy of 20% on average in Europe. So, and if I ask you guys, specialists, senior specialists in the car business here in the UK, who back in 2012 saw this coming? Who knew that electric vehicles would become one of the major drivetrains in just a couple of years in Europe? Who anticipated that we would see countries like Norway, like Denmark, like Sweden, who are approaching 100% battery electric vehicle sales? And yeah, today we are here at an SMMT conference, 100% focused on electric vehicles. So a lot of change in the dynamics of our industry, and of course a lot of change we as a business had to manage, walking away from combustion and building this new muscle of creating competitive battery electric vehicles and connected vehicles. At the end of this effort today stands this range of electric vehicles we've in the market today. And yes, the launch of our first electric vehicles may have been a little bit rocky, but obviously we've done something right, because today Volkswagen is the #1 brand in Europe in the electric vehicles market. 5 out of 10 of the best-selling battery electric vehicles in Europe come from Volkswagen Group. And this is, of course, also the result of a huge commitment and a $1 billion investment in engineering, in production, in qualifying our dealer network, and actually getting us to the point where today we are very competitive in this new business field. And investment keeps flowing on the back of our next investments. This year we are going to launch the ID Polo, the first vehicle which we are offering in Germany for around 25,000 euros. And then next year, ID Every1, we're going to go down to about 20,000 euros, which of course on the one hand opens up this new fantastic technology of electric vehicles to a much broader range of customers. It's going to boost our volume and also allows us really to achieve scale in this new business and take costs even further down, get us closer to cost parity and price parity with electric vehicles in Europe. So, a huge amount of change which we have managed, but I can tell you there is more change we need to manage in our industry. And I think the next slide is going to represent what I'm talking about. This is, I would say, a selection. This is a selection of Chinese brands doing business in Europe. And although I'm in charge of global sales for Volkswagen, I should of course know all these brands. To be very honest, I don't. Many of them are not that successful. Quite a few of them are very successful. And what we see at the moment in the UK, in Europe, everywhere in the world, apart from the United States of America and Canada, competition is heating up dramatically with new companies, new brands coming into the market, battery electric, plug-in, but also ICE. Yeah, and really changing the dynamic of the car industry everywhere. So, how do we as Volkswagen deal with this dramatically increased degree of competition? First of all, with a huge amount of humility, taking these new players very seriously, looking them very closely, understanding what they're doing, also understanding what they're doing possibly better than we have done in the past, and then do whatever it takes to be competitive in this new business environment. And actually, I believe as Volkswagen, we have a particular advantage when it comes to competitiveness, and this is our exposure or our size of our business in China. Simply because China is so important for us. We are so big in China, we can't walk away. We have to find a way of being competitive in China. Whilst other companies might look at China and say, oh my God, this is going to be extremely competitive, let's get out of here. Not an option for Volkswagen. And this is why we've embarked on our journey of creating the In China, for China strategy, partnering with the best, most innovative companies in China, like Xpeng and Horizon Robotics, and doing what it takes to be competitive in China, in the home country of all these new brands, which we're going to see as our competitors everywhere in the world. And just this year, in 2026, we are going to launch 13 new energy vehicles, plug-in hybrids or fully battery electric vehicles in China, which are going to dramatically change the competitiveness of Volkswagen in this new energy vehicle market in China. And of course, once we have this really highly competitive new range of vehicles in China, you will not be surprised that we are also looking into opportunities of bringing these vehicles into other parts of the world in order to face the competition and remain successful as a company, as a brand in a completely different business environment. So let me talk a little bit more about change in our industry on the back of new technology. That's part of our world. I think you know what this is. This is a robotic lawnmower. I've got one of these at home, bought it about 10 years ago. And for the last 10 years, it's always been working. It's doing its job, rain and shine, without any issues. From time to time, it gets new software over the air, no maintenance, no nothing, just working. So why is this relevant? Now, if we have a close look at this thing and maybe take it apart, rip it apart, we may find that there are some similarities with a battery electric vehicle. It's got a chassis, it's got 2 electric motors, it's got a battery, it's got a control unit, hardware, software. It's got sensors. It's connected to the internet to get software updates, just like an electric vehicle. And the reality of our new business is that also battery electric vehicles, as we see now, do not need a lot of maintenance and repair. Great for the consumer, not so great for our business, for our retailers, because as you know, Service is one of the major income streams and profit streams for the automotive retail trade. And our view at things, if we do not change anything, if we just keep doing business, our dealer networks in Europe will have a big problem. At the moment, dealers in Europe do a decent level of profit. I know it can always be better, but I think it's okay. But it's going to change. With more and more electric vehicles popping up in the car park on the one hand, but also more driver assistant systems popping up in the car park, which means collisions are coming down. This tremendously important income stream for our retailers is going to at least diminish. So we have to think very, very hard together with our retailers what we need to do, how we can set up a more efficient way of servicing our customers, servicing cars, how we can take costs out of the system, how we can generate additional income streams in order to turn this around and create a completely new business model that also allows us to serve our customers in a future where this big, solid income and profit stream of servicing vehicles will not be there anymore. And if you believe this is hocus pocus, is not going to happen, hop on a plane, go to Norway, go to Denmark. It's a reality in these countries already. Business is completely shifting, and we have to get ready in order to rebuild a new business together with our retailers. So what else is happening in the industry? Those of you who are in California from time to time, see these little things, fully autonomous taxis. They're everywhere, a completely new and interesting experience, and most importantly, much, much more affordable than a regular taxi because it doesn't require a driver. And there are many experts in the world talking about the business potential of fleets, but also the impact on individual transportation and the impact on the car industry, car sales. And of course, nobody really knows where that is going, but all experts agree in one thing: autonomous driving vehicles, autonomous driving fleets of taxis will take business away from the regular car business, selling and leasing vehicles. So another challenge for all of us because, some part of the business is going to go away, but there will also be new business because these new fleets of autonomous vehicles need to be operated and serviced. So as a business, we have to get ready actually to generate revenue and income in this new business. And we're doing this with our subsidiary Moya. We have first fleets of fully autonomous vehicles actually operating in Florida. We've partnered up with Uber, and beginning of next year, we are going to scale. You're going to see Volkswagen fleets of fully autonomous vehicles running, operating in many parts of the world. And actually, we are doing the operation. So not only in terms of technical maintenance, but also when the car needs any kinds of assistance because it does not know how to navigate a certain obstacle on the road. The whole operation is being done by Volkswagen because we clearly want to be an integral part of this new business. So I could talk for hours about AI, the way AI is impacting on our business, the opportunities, challenges as a result of AI everywhere in our businesses, in our products, in our processes. I don't want to do that because time is running up. So in summary, I would like to introduce to you a guy whose name is Roy Amara. Roy Amara is the president of the Institute of the Future in the United States. And he said, we, human beings, we tend to overestimate the effect of technology in the short run, but we underestimate the effect of technology in the long run. We underestimate the effect of a technology in the short run, but we overestimate the effect of the technology in the short run, but we underestimate the effect of a technology in the long run. The amount of innovation we see around us, new technologies in our products, in our services, in our processes, is tremendous, unheard of. So if there is one thing I would like you to take away, you're going to spend a whole day talking about our business in the new age of electric vehicles, challenges, opportunities. I would encourage you to see everything through this lens. Most likely, we are underestimating how much change we are possibly going to see over the next couple of years on the basis of new technology and speed of innovation that is around us everywhere in the world. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a huge responsibility for all of us. This is a huge responsibility for everyone in business to make the right decisions now in order to understand what's going on, in order to be nimble, reactive, and quick to adapt new processes and change so that we can take all the advantages that come with new technologies. A huge responsibility for the business, but also, of course, a huge responsibility for policymakers who have to put the right policies in place to support businesses on this tremendous transition and, of course, also support consumers. Because at the end of the day, we are here for our consumers, for our customers, and we want to build a business, a new business that is attractive for our consumers. And the task at hand is not to apply incremental changes to a running system. The task at hand for all of us is to completely rebuild our industry in a completely changing environment. So in summary, I would say it's never been more exciting than today to work in the car business. Thank you very much.
Martin, thank you so much. And challenges and opportunities, indeed, the theme of today. And from the Volkswagen perspective, if you would take some questions now, I know lots of people would like to ask. So, right, fire away, guys. We've got 5 minutes or so. Question for Martin. There we are. Hand is up about halfway back there. Thank you. If you'd like to say who you are and where you work, please.
It's Richard Amanagama from Mikos Technologies. So several years ago, when foreign manufacturers wanted to enter the Chinese market, the Chinese government demanded JVs and technology transfers. Is there a case for that now for Europe and America to expect the same?
So as you know, these requirements are not in place in China anymore. It's much more easier now for European companies, other car companies to set up business in China and manufacture in China. And to be honest, I think this is possibly a question that should have been asked and answered 5 or 8 years from now. Yeah, because the Chinese are here, they are building their business model now. They are investing in Europe anyway, because they understand they need to be here, they need to invest here, they want to be part of the community. So I do not think that this conversation is really adding any value. And in general, as I said earlier, yeah, it's one thing to talk about policies and all sorts of things that might keep competition out. Yeah, the United States is doing that to an extreme. It's another thing for us, for the industry, to understand what we need to do in order to be competitive. Competition is changing, there are new companies who are doing things in a different way, and we just simply have to be competitive. And there is a lot we can do, and we have done already, in order to face competition.
We have time for one more. Thank you, Martin. Question perhaps from delegates at the back? You've been very quiet. Yes, there's a hand right at the back there. Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking my question. My name is Kanai Nagaki from the Financial Times. I just wanted to ask about the local for local strategy in China. You've said that there's no option for Volkswagen to pull out of China. Why did it take so long, I guess, for you to come up with local for local strategy, considering that this is sort of a core principle for the car industry to produce vehicles locally and for the local consumer tastes? And then my second question is, you showed the slide with all the Chinese brands in Europe. How many do you think will survive in the end?
So first of all, local for local, I have to qualify that because we've been local for I don't know how many decades. Yeah, back in the 1990s, we already started producing vehicles in China, and this is why for a long period of time Volkswagen was the #1 car brand in China. And even today, there are only 2 brands, part of the 2 million club. So brands selling more than 2 million vehicles per year. #1 is BYD and #2 is Volkswagen, because of our successful local for local strategy, which we implemented decades ago. But the new bit of local for local is that now we are also doing all the engineering based in China on the basis of Chinese technology, Chinese speed to the market development cycles, because we just see what we've been doing in Europe for a long period of time is not competitive more in the Chinese market. So now it's not only manufacturing, but it's also all the engineering work we're doing in China, for China. And of course, as an overall company globally, we are adopting what we are learning from our deep integration now in our China business.
Martin Sander, thank you very much. Thank you for your questions. That's all we have time for, but thank you. Very interesting.
Thank you.